Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special edition and a special summer edition of Coach's Corner. As we get done with spring sports, we look forward to the summer and, of course, fall sports. And on today's show, we're going to introduce you to our new football coach, Josh Allen. That's why it's a special show, because football is not just 6 months anymore, it's 12 months. And contrary to belief, there's a lot of things going on within our football program that parents need to know about, not only for the month of June, July, but also as we prepare for the month of August, when two-a-day practices or the practices leading up until the first game get underway. Well, here he is. This is his face, and maybe you've heard his voice. You've seen his picture in the paper, but here he is at the tender young age of 34 years old.
That's correct.
The new football coach of the Ponca City Wildcats, Josh Allen. And Coach, as always, congratulations. I know you've heard that a lot. People may be surprised to realize that you've actually been here for a couple of months. You've gotten to know the boys. You've gotten to know the program. And so you're coming in with a little bit of a head start before the 2012 season.
No, I'm telling you, one of the positives of taking this job is how early it happened, how earlier, when you get offered the job in late January and are able to get over here in late February, that gives you enough time to get things halfway organized, for a 6A football program, because it can, I've heard horror stories of coaches getting, hired in late in April or May, and that's a real rush, because there's a lot of things that have to get done, from anywhere from possibly hiring new staff members to getting office and equipment room and things organized, to obviously installing a new offense, defense, getting to know players and such.
Well, as we kind of prioritize things, let's start with that first part. I would imagine that after you accepted the job, the first thing you wanted to do is get with your new family, and that means your players. And I would imagine that's the biggest step, is that you've seen them, you've met them, you have a much better idea of what you're going to be working with.
Oh yeah, getting to know the players obviously is top on your priority list as a new coach. That's what you got to do. And we through the months of March and April, we had some strength and conditioning workouts early in the morning, some weightlifting workouts from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday. And that gave me a great chance to get to know a lot of the kids, see them work, see their attitude, see how they approach things. And that was a big deal. And obviously, I'm getting in the afternoons, we do speed and agility stuff during sixth period, and got to see them run and move a little bit. But yes, getting the feel of the guys, looking to see, obviously their athletic ability, but also to see their attitude and how what the work ethic, how they approach things. Is definitely, and them getting to know me and the way I expect things. Here's the way I want things done. Here's how I approach workouts and such. And then it's much learning as on them as much as it is me getting to know them. So
we talk about you knowing the boys, but it's just important that they know what Coach Allen is all about, when he's on the lighter side, when he's on the serious side.
Right.
Everybody's got a different personality. Every coach does, and so you want that relationship with players, and I don't know, you want to be their mentor, you want to be their coach. I guess there are times when you want to be their friend too, but this little 2 or 3 month before the season begins is really got to be helpful.
Oh yes, yeah. Like I said, they're learning my personality, what makes me tick or how I approach things, and that is very huge. But no, I couldn't be more pleased to get in here when I did. Because honestly, like any new coach taking over a program, there are some issues, there are some things that have to be addressed, and they don't come overnight, or you do need some time.
I would imagine the other part of it is there's nothing worse than walking into a new school to have a teaching assignment without being there,
yeah.
Plus you're having to worry about football. You've taken care of a lot of that. There's not going to be a lot of mysteries when the first day of school rolls around in mid-August.
You're right. The one cool thing about being in the school building also early is, I've got to know teachers, administrators, see how things work, because each school building, I've been as a professional long enough, each school building has its own ways sometimes of doing things, and you got to learn the procedures and protocols that each building and how they operate. So that's been good. I've gotten to know not just football players, but also just regular student body, and that has been a great thing. Trying to, because I think part of a head football coach is also not just being by yourself with your own guys, but also being out there visible with the regular student body, and this also being in the school building so early throughout the day has allowed me to get to know different faculty and staff and regular student body.
Well, I tell you, football Fridays and football season, and I'm sure it's this way in places you've been, but the more you know, not only your football players, but the faculty and staff, the cheerleaders, the pom squad, the band members, the kids that'll paint themselves up and go sit in the front row.
Sure.
The more interaction you have with them, the better off the program is going to be.
Sure. Energy is, there's ways to create energy in your school building, and for your football program. If I was just going to be coiled up in my football office, just worrying about X and O's and plays, and just worrying about my guys, then the only way we create energy is if we're really, really good on the field and everybody just loves to come watch us play. Other than that, you need to be out there trying to be more personable with everybody and be approachable and show that you care about other events and things going on. If I expect people to come out and want to watch us play football, well, then on the same side, that's why I tell our players, well, we need to show up at other events, whether it be fine arts or other sports, cheer and pom, all that. You need to be there and show their support for their activities, because they're important to those people as well.
You said something to me when we first started visiting, and you said you really want football to be the most important thing in Ponca City on Friday night, and you said the way to get that is to put a good product out there where people, when 5 o'clock Friday hits, the only thing they want to do is get home and get changed and get to the ball game, and that's a great goal, isn't it?
That's a great goal. I mean, like you said, being one of the positives of being in a one school town per se is that man, you get to be, if you can put that product on there, you can create some real excitement in the community. Where instead of them wanting to go to the movie on a Friday night or go do something else, that they say, hey, you know what, we're fall evening, let's go watch Ponca. They're playing at home, and that's what we're going to do for our entertainment that night.
Let's talk a little bit about background and Coach Allen. The background is absolutely astonishing when you look at it. Grew up in Edmond, was an all-state quarterback at Edmond Santa Fe. Led Edmond Santa Fe, 11-1 your senior year?
11-2 senior year.
Wow. Was recruited by former Ponca football coach Bo Hannaford to go to Murray State and play college football there. Experience there, came back to Southwestern.
Yeah, I had a stop at Butler County Community College. It's a very, very well-respected junior college in Kansas, and then
junior college football in Kansas, it might be as hard to win there as it is in the NFL too.
Sure, yeah. But we won a national title there at Butler in 1998. Rudy Johnson was our tailback, and man, he was awesome. I mean, I really had, me personally, I was a quarterback, and it was pretty easy. They wasn't in spread offenses. I literally just handed the ball most of the time off to him, watched him run, occasionally did a play action pass, and then people were usually wide open.
Well, yeah, exactly. They had 9 guys up trying to get that guy. Then you went and played football at Weatherford, where you started and had success there. So, I know it's when you get out of high school and you say, I'm going to go one place and be a quarterback. But now that you look back on it, don't you think you can take a little bit from all those experiences, which really help you in the profession you're in now?
Yes, I mean, obviously, I don't know how many offensive coordinators during that travels I was under. Probably at least 4 different offensive coordinators during my 5 years in college, just because I moved around in different spots, I got to learn a lot of X and O football, just to fire up more of my passion about the game of football, and so that was a very helpful experience.
Coach got into coaching. He's coached a number of places for our fans. Derby, Kansas is always a powerhouse up in the Wichita area. Coach was at Edmond Memorial, obviously. And if you watch what's going on in the state, Coach, the Edmond schools, they've always been good, but with what I saw in the spring sports, with all the things that are going on, I'm not sure there's maybe maybe in the next 10 years we might see a power shift away from Union and Jinx
Yeah.
over to those Edmond schools.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I was part of the divide in '93. That's when we went to Santa Fe and opened it up, and it hurt the Edmond schools big then. But you're right. It's caught the towns, all the schools. It's been a long time. They've all caught up. You're always going to have at least one of them good in one of the sports.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach also was at Springdale, Arkansas, right before he came to Ponca City. In fact, he's been the coach there as an assistant coach before the Ponca City job. So all these stops, you do that. There's a reason. There's a method to the madness. You try to get all the experience you can. And your first head coaching job is with the Ponca City Wildcats. You feel, obviously, though, you're ready. This is the step you want to make.
Oh, yes. I've put a lot of hard work over for the last 12 years. Been a lot of hard work, a lot of travel, a lot of, not jobs that didn't pay well. So I feel like, a lot of late nights. I paid my dues in the profession, but I've also been under some great head coaches. And really the last, 5 years or so when I knew I might want to be a head coach, I really started paying attention to not just the X and O's, but to the other aspects of being a head coach. So yeah, it's been a great experiences.
Well, that catches us up. Coach Allen is our new football coach, and he has a busy summer that I wanted to allow him some time to talk about. And again, some of this is going to happen in May and then in June and July, and of course we'll talk a little bit later on about what happens in August. But Coach, you have a schedule for the boys that you want to make sure they know about right now.
Yeah, well, we're getting ready to start, and to just the general public watching we start our spring ball May 15th. That's tomorrow, and it's lasts through May 30th. And the OSSA allows all Oklahoma high schools now 10 2-hour full padded practices. So Oklahoma is pretty progressive in the spring sports of allowing teams to practice and such. So we're going to take full advantage of it. But that goes on from May 15th to May 30th, through on. Obviously Friday's graduation, we won't be doing anything there. But all next week's practice, and then after Memorial Day, we still have 2 days of that. Then we go into a team camp. We're taking the guys up to go compete in a team camp June 3rd and 4th up at Emporia State University, and going to compete against some good Kansas teams up there. And then July 9th and 10th, we're going up to Winfield, Kansas for just an easy day, 9 to noon, for a 2-day team camp up there. And then various 7-on-7s. We're doing a 7-on-7 tournament in Derby June 23rd, which we won that last year. So, so is a busy summer. And obviously the varsity guys, we will, starting June 6th, every Monday through Thursday throughout the June and July is pretty much an early morning workout from 7 a.m. to 8:45. So anybody watching that is interested in playing football, come by the office where we got a busy schedule, and I'd love to talk to you. And obviously you'll need an updated physical for anything going into June and July. That's the end of the school year, and the old physicals will not cover that. So good. If you are interested, come see me. We'll get some paperwork for you, and then we can get you out for some spring ball.
I know you'd like to have as many boys as possible, though, throughout the summer. And you told me that you're the type of coach that wants kids to participate in anything that they've got going on. But if they have nothing going on, then in the mornings they need to be lifting weights.
Yeah, let's be honest. The 6A program, the way it's not just coming out and running plays. There's so much more that goes into developing a good program, and part of it is a good strength and conditioning program. I'm talking one that not only develops you individually in your body, physically, and that's a safety reason too, to get prepared, but also physically to become a better athlete. And then second, it helps you to get to know your guys. It's good for guys to grind it together in a good workout. You build team chemistry. Also mental toughness. We want to become a tough team, especially in the second half. And I'm telling you, it's good, hard summer workouts help train that and develop that mental toughness. And that's why it's important to be there. And you're right. Going to my philosophy, really what I try to preach to these guys, it's summertime. Hey, go. I want you to go on the family vacation. I want you to go to any sports camp or any other camp you want to go to, church camp. But when you're in town, it's hard to know that you want to play football and your guys are getting up in the morning working out, but you're staying in and sleeping in. are not doing what you need to do. So if you're in the town of Ponca City this summer through June and July, then you need to make those summer workouts.
And then, of course, the second Tuesday in August, it all begins for real with the preparation for the season opener August 31st in Sapulpa. So, and it sounds like a long time away, but it's really not, Coach. Yep. It's about 2.5 months, and then we hit the ground running.
Sure.
And, it's an exciting time, though. This is what you worked so hard for. This is why you went to college. This is why you got all that education. Is so you could have your own program. You could run your own program.
Absolutely.
How's that feel?
Oh, it's great. I mean, there's that part of it that, I am getting to set schedules and do things I've always thought, man, this is what I would like to do. But there's also, but there's a lot. I have a great support staff too that, the bosses that I'm under, are very, have really helped me out. Mr. Winburn, the AD, man, he has really helped me out. The central office, Dr. Neiman, Dr. Pennington have been more than helpful in helping me get a staff together. I just couldn't be, and the maintenance department, they're putting in or redoing a lot of stuff to the coach's offices and locker room, and obviously the new turf. So, there's a lot of great things going on, and I appreciate Dr. Simpson and him helping get that orchestrated and such. So, but yeah, it's fun being able to control my, some things that I always wanted to have a little control over, and put your philosophy on some things, and I hope, let's hope everything works out. I got a good feeling that it will.
Well, I think there's a lot of excitement, and for those that go to Sullen Stadium on Fridays, and it's an older historic stadium that, I think sometimes when you live in a community and you go year after year, you don't realize what you have. But you had an interesting observation. You said you think it's as good a home field advantage as you've seen, and you love the build and the makeup.
And driving north up 5th Street, and it just caught my eye. Man, for a high school stadium, that is nice. It's big. It's a good looking field. It's better. I'll put it right now. It's better when I was at Springdale, which is a very football oriented school. We have a better stadium than Springdale. Obviously, when I was at Edmond Memorial, they have to, all the Edmond schools go to UCO for their games, so they don't have a good on-site, on-campus stadium. So, man, I think Ponca City has a great, I think Solon Stadium's a great football stadium.
Yeah, I always thought the Lawton schools, they had to play at the college, and it's all well and good, but to have a home field advantage, I don't think those schools have that when you play at a college stadium. Yep. I think when you've got your own fans in your own stadium and that other team has to dress in that little locker room and come out of that tunnel, I think that's a big advantage.
Oh yeah. I think we're well and good with that stadium. It's not every high school gets to enjoy an atmosphere or a stadium like that. I think our weight room. I was very impressed seeing our weight room. First of all, we have all we really need there, and they got a nice building. So we got there's some good facilities here.
You have philosophies in offense and defense, and you told me defensively, no matter what, you feel like we can be better on defense this season.
Oh, we're going to have to be. You can't build long-term success by giving up, 30, 35 plus points a game. And it doesn't take a rocket science for anybody to answer that. So, I pretty much brought a guy in, and obviously, he's Jeremy Harper from Westmore, who I hope and I know can really help us out in that department. He has got a great defensive background, and is going to put the type of energy and the commitment to getting that thing turned around on the side ball.
You were an outstanding quarterback in high school. You've been an offensive coach. What will be your role as our head coach / is it going to be quarterback coach, offensive coordinator? How are you going to deal with the head coach and put your stamp on the offense?
Yeah, offensive is my passion ever since I got as a student assistant in 2001. I've honestly really assisted on the offensive side of the ball. I've coached every offensive position from O-line to quarterbacks to wide receivers to running backs to tight ends and fullbacks. Throughout my career, I've done that side of it. So I am an offensive guy, and I will have a huge say in the offense, obviously, and design of it. Now play calling during a game, I have thought about that. That is going to be. I'm used to being up in a box where I feel like you can see the game better. So I'm bringing it. Brant Steffi is going to coach our wide receivers, and he's been in a lot of different stops. His resume is very impressive itself. I think between him and I, and our old offensive line coach, that we will be able to, try to get the best series of plays in for the next series, and there could be some handing of play call duties if I feel like that, maybe I'm having trouble seeing things from the sideline or getting the feel. That could be an option. But the design of the offense and probably the game plan that week, I will have a big amount of say in that.
No. We're asking you things in May that
Sure.
you've got plenty of time to
Sure.
work out. You'll see some new faces on the sidelines as well with the changes in the coaching staff, and of course there's a lot of excitement with that. You're married. You have a young son,
yes.
and how is your wife and your son adjusting to Ponca City?
They love it. My wife Amy is a dental hygienist and is working up there for Dr. Nipper in town. And obviously our little pride and joy right now, Sawyer, is 9 months starting tomorrow, and so he is in a great stage right now. I mean, he's always been cute, but he's just keeps getting more fun as he goes along. He's clapping and holding things, making all sorts of sounds and stuff. So it's a great time.
Well, we got a future ball boy there. I
That's
think.
right. That's
what
right.
People come up to you, they meet you, things like that. I'm sure you get the feeling that this is a community which really wants to have a winner, wants to be in that situation.
Sure.
This is a good scenario, but there are people. I'm sure they relay that to you every day.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hear about with Frank Picarillo and obviously Bo Hannaford, especially in this first couple of years there. I mean, there was a string there, in the from the early 2000s to the mid 2000s where Ponca City really was. I don't know, a couple of nine win regular seasons, and and then even before, and then throwing a couple of 7-win, 8-win seasons along the side of those, and that is impressive, and I've I hope we can get that to that level again. And Amy and I, as far as the town, we love the town. It's it's laid back, and we just enjoy. We know we're going to enjoy living here, and we couldn't be more happier with the town.
Open door policy over at your office, your phone or your office. Anybody can get a hold of you anytime.
Sure. Yeah. Anytime that you need to come by and see me, the door's always open. And anyway.
Very good. Well, it sounds like you've got a busy summer, and we look forward. Of course, Coach will be in with us each week during the football season. It all starts August 31st in Sapulpa. Then the Cats have 3 straight home games before hitting the road again. But it'll be exciting, and we'll save that schedule for another day because that thing's going to be tough enough as it is.
We're in a tough district.
Yeah. To you and your wife and your son. Have a great summer, and we'll look forward to seeing you before the start of the upcoming football season. Special thanks, our new football coach, Coach Allen, with us on this edition of Coach's Corner.